Believe it or not, this right here comes from factory this bougie. This is the FN 509cc Edge. Basically, it's a concealed carry firearm from factory that's completely pimped out just about as much as you can get without, of course, this optic on it. This did not come with it, but it did come with a bunch of different optic plates to mount. Again, this is the FN 509 Edge CC. What's going on, everybody? This is Steve with the MrBigKid channel. I really appreciate you all watching. I want to give a shout out to Smoky Mountain Guns and Ammo. They supply the ammunition and the firearm for testing and review. First of all, dang, this is a whole lot of gun from factory. So a couple things that we're gonna go over. Of course, we're gonna talk about the features of this guy. We're gonna talk about the trigger, the magazines. We're gonna see what comes in the box. Performance, of course, that's a big one, performance and reliability. So let's just get started and let's jump right in. This is the FNH 509cc Edge. This pretty much comes this way from factory, minus the light and then minus the optics, but it does come optics ready. So what you're getting is you got a very compact frame. I mean, awkwardly compact. I can fit 2 fingers on there and pinky has nothing to do. So it also comes with this 15 round with the mag extension right here. That mag extension is critical, so at least you have something to grab onto. But overall, very interesting gun, very interesting release from them. So let's go ahead and give this thing a shot. Let's see how it shoots. Well, it ran. I was told this guy is kind of a jam-o-matic, but I have had no issues so far. All right, we're at the dueling tree test from Shooting Targets USA again. 6-paddle dueling tree. Let's do it. See if I can schmack some paddles. It's always the end. I start getting confident and then I start missing a lot. You know what? I've been super impressed by this already. My expectations were low, but I've been proved wrong so far. 4 full mags into it. So 60 rounds so far, and so far so good. So one thing we should talk about is pretty much the theory of use. Like, what's the point of this guy? It's a whole lot of gun, right? So this is gonna be kind of my opinion. I mean, I'm not gonna speak for FN, but this is basically a high performance concealed carry handgun. You have this big extended mag, and you have a compensator, you have lightning cuts on the slide, you have a match barrel, you have optics plate, a deep optic cut on here so you can put multiple optics. You have these tall sights right here so you can co-witness with the optic. You have a flat face trigger, like an extended magazine release also. Not too extended to where it's obnoxious or accidentally dropping the mag, but it is extended. And then you have full-size Picatinny rail right up here in the front with 3 slots on it, so you have a lot of light mounting options as well. So that's a real quick mile-high view of all the stuff that this comes with. Let's break it down a little more. Before we do, let's do some more shooting. Let's do another mag. I'm not gonna blame that failure to lock back on the gun. I think that one was 100% me. I was just really choking up on the grip right there, and let be what may. Before we bring this thing to the table, I'm just gonna play a little bit of the specs for you on the screen right here to some pretty music. Elevator music. That's right. Okay, my initial impressions when I first saw this was I didn't really like it. Now, it seems like, why wouldn't I like it, right? It's got a lot of features. It's bougie. I love pimp guns. I love guns that just have tons of features. I'm a big fan of compensators overall, but why didn't I like it? Well, the first thing is I'm not a big fan of really stubby grips. So if you look at this guy, Look how short that is. So when you grab it, my pinky is completely hanging off the bottom. It's not a very comfortable gun without the magazine inserted. So that's not a big deal. You shoot it or you carry it with the magazine inserted. The problem is, there is a little bit of wobble in the magazine, which is normal. Magazines need to have wobble. You want them to be able to drop loose. But the problem is when you rely on the magazine for your grip, you're gonna have to deal with a little bit of wobble. And I have a couple guns that require a magazine to have a good firm grip on it, but that's pretty much my only pet peeve with this thing. Doesn't mean it's not a good gun, and some people don't really care about that, so that's awesome. Now there's another YouTuber out there, his name is Opie in the Smokies, and he tested this gun out before I did, and this is the same exact gun that he did a video on. Now the difference is, when he shot this gun, he had issue after issue. He had a lot of jams. He had a hard time getting through a magazine without this thing jamming up. After he put a few hundred rounds through this thing, he was finished with his review, so he gave it to me to let me borrow and do a little write-up on this thing as well. He lubed it up really nice. Like I said, he went through a few hundred rounds. I'm guessing because he shot it before I did, this thing's been working perfect. Like, this thing has not had a single issue. I've also put a few hundred rounds through this guy. I ran a couple different types through it, some 124 grain stuff, and then a lot of 115 grain stuff, all full metal jackets. I'm guessing there might have been some kind of a break-in period, or maybe it's just a lubrication issue, I don't know. But when he gave this thing to me and I put my few hundred rounds through it, it worked just fine. So far, this thing has been running great. When I talked to Opie, he was having some struggles for the first 300 rounds. This is the one that came from him. So go ahead and check out his video and you'll be able to see all the issues he's had. I'm guessing he must have broken this thing in before giving it to me to review, because so far it's worked perfectly. I was kind of hoping it wouldn't, because I want to be able to actually talk something negative about a gun, but apparently this one runs well too. Maybe I just have the magic touch. I don't know. It works so well, it's boring. No, it's a very soft shooter. Compensator feels very effective. It doesn't bite that much when it recoils. I think that's gonna be a lot of the lightning touches they've done on this thing. Obviously it's a little heavier. You do have the optic, which will actually kind of increase that backwards recoil or that muzzle lift, but then you have that light on the front which helps hold it down. With the compensator overall, it's actually a really nice feeling gun, especially with that extended mag. That is mandatory. If this extended mag didn't exist, this would be very awkward to shoot. You can see my pinky just hanging off on the end, so extended mag is critical.
I mean, I didn't have any stoppages, so I mean, no problems, obviously, right off the bat. I agree. I've carried a 26, a Glock 26 for a long time with a 15 round magazine with the X grip on it. So carrying one like this is definitely the way you would have to carry it. You would not be able to carry it like this, in my opinion. You know, even with Glock 26s, they come with a little pinky little extender. Yeah, you definitely can't carry it like this. It would not be with a flush fit magazine. It would have to be with a mag extension. Other than that, ran flawlessly. I like 509 stuff. I like FN stuff. So yeah, I like the compensator on it. That's pretty sweet. Got a lot of cool stuff, man. Not bad. And the red dot's not bad on it. Holosun, what is that?
It's got 508? 508,
508, yeah. I like the green and red stuff from Holosun, so I like it. Would I carry it as a carry piece? Sure.
So let's bring it to the table and talk about some of the features and the looks and all that. And we're even gonna talk about the breakdown. Now this is for you, YouTube. This is part of maintenance of a firearm. This is very important that you know how to break this down for maintenance. It's a safety issue. You don't carry a gun that's not been maintained, and you don't carry a gun that's dirty. Question of the day, does the ETS cam speed loader load up the 509cc magazines? So let's check it out. Take your magazine, stick it in the bottom of the cam loader right there. Then you take your rounds, just scoop them right out of the box, right out of the tray. Got 10 rounds right there in the loader. Flip it upside down. Easy. Yep, it works just fine. No more mag thumb with these guys. So let's take that mag out and just make sure we are clear, which we are. So you'll notice right here, really nice styling. So I love these lightning cuts, and I'm a big fan of these gold looking barrels. I'm a big fan of gold, especially on a barrel. When you have these awesome lightning cuts and then you expose this golden color under it, just really cool. Some people might not like that, and I totally get that. You do have interchangeable back straps right here on the back, kind of like that CZ style polymer stippling on your front and your back straps right here, and then a nice sandpaper on the side. This does have an ambidextrous slide release. Now you'll notice that this thing has some pretty deep optic cuts on it, and then combination with these tall sights, you do have a nice co-witness going on right there. Kind of hard to see the front sight, but we are perfectly lined up right there. This is your compensator. So what's cool is this thing is auto indexed. There's no threading, no doing anything like that. This thing just perfectly sits in its own spot. There's a little wobble to it, but that's pretty much how compensators that aren't threaded on work. So this is a hammer forged match barrel, and it has that target crown on the front of that barrel too. You do have a black serrated rear sight, and then you have a fiber optic front sight as well. Let's check that trigger out while we're at it. So this is your take up right over here. Little creep and a break. Let's check that reset. Reset ends right there, and then right to the break. Not bad. So it's easy. The trigger is pretty easy to stage, which isn't bad. Take up and break. So smooth trigger, very crispy break, and of course triggers always seem to feel a lot better when you actually have a round in there and you're actually firing a round. Dry firing it for some reason just isn't quite the same. All right, now this is for maintenance sake. This is a pretty easy breakdown. Very reminiscent of the SIGs and even the Springfield XDs. You take this, lock it back, and then you rotate this clockwise, release the slide. This is the part that a lot of people don't like. You need to squeeze that trigger to release that slide, and then here you have it. Just a standard breakdown, nice and easy. Take this guy out, and then as far as the compensator, you press this in and you rotate it, and then the compensator comes right out, and that's how you can clean the barrel and all that, which it needs it really bad. I just took this out shooting and haven't had a chance to clean it up. So, but really pretty simple. So you just take that, stick the barrel in there, and then get your compensator and just rotate it back on, and that's it. So again, maintenance is very important on your firearms. I do need to clean this up before I give it back. All right, now let's look at what comes inside the box when you buy this guy. The box. Now let's use our imagination and pretend I haven't opened this yet, because obviously I've opened it. But all right, here's the box that it came in. Inside this box, you have a nice little bag slash case. And then you have some directions right there. This talks about the compensator, how to remove it, change things out, all that good stuff. So let's put this aside and bring the bag out. What this comes with. First things first, you have the handgun. Again, it does not come with this Holosun optic. It comes with an optic plate. It comes with a blank plate, and then it has a couple other optic plates as well. This does come with 3 magazines. You have a 12-round magazine and then 2 15-round magazines as well. These, of course, are the ones with the extensions. So this little 12-rounder is gonna be good for more concealed, deep concealment, something like that. Whereas these guys do have the extensions, so it's a lot thicker or a lot longer than this guy right here. This comes with some stuff too that we've already dug through. Of course, you get all your paperwork, directions, manuals, all that good stuff. And then right here, here's one of the back straps that it comes with, a different size back strap. You have a little bushing right over here for the compensator. I'm guessing you can remove this and put this bushing in, and this probably lets you actually fire the gun without a compensator. So it's about options, right? And then, yeah, you know, those. And then you have optic plates and a bunch of different screws, so different mounting options for your optics. And then I saw it somewhere. Oh, here it is. Here's a couple extra optic plates. You have your blank plate that it came with. So here's the optic plate that it actually came with. And it's really strange because your rear sight sits inside of these little fins or ears right here. And I'm not sure what the point of this is other than maybe protecting that rear sight from bumping around or something, but needless to say, we did not need that or use it. Otherwise, that's about it. That's what it comes with, but those magazines is enough to get you started. And these plates, I'm not too sure of. I believe the plate that this did come with is the RMR plate, and I'm not too sure what that one is for. I'm guessing maybe the doctor mount would be my big guess. I'm not gonna open it though, because I'm not gonna mount anything to it. And the last thing to talk about is performance. How well did this guy actually perform, and how shootable was it? Now that being said, minus the issue that Opie and the Smokies was having, the lack of issues I had was I have nothing really bad to say about this other than the really stubby grip. But there's people out there that prefer that, so I can't knock on that. Performance-wise, it felt really good to shoot. It's a very soft shooter. I'm guessing that compensator has a lot to do with that. I also think the lightning cuts on the slide have a lot to do with that as well. And there's little features on there like the really good stippling, the interchangeable back straps. You can really cater this to your hand size, your fitment. So that's a good feature to have. I'm guessing all these things in conjunction together create a symphony of performance. You like how I did that? Very shootable. We were smacking steel targets everywhere. We were shooting the shooting tree from Shooting Targets USA. We were shooting all the silhouettes over on Mike's range, which is a range that Opie shoots at as well. So Mike, thank you for letting us shoot out there too. Very comfortable gun. I enjoyed shooting it a lot. From what I've seen, I'm guessing after some kind of a break-in, it seems relatively reliable to me too, because I haven't had an issue. Co-witnessing sights, awesome feature. This is an RMR sized optic right here, even though it's a Holosun. So you can mount those bigger optics to it, even for a little compact handgun. Trigger feels really good. Nice clean break on it. So overall, not too bad. Thank you all so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys next time.